Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's live stream. How are we all doing today? As you may see, I've got my lights a little bit different. I'm trying to get my overhead light, the one on my this side, left hand side, to be a little bit easier for me to try and capture shimmer and sheen. So I've moved it around a bit. Also, I like the way it's shading my face. So let's see how we go with this. So how are we all today? Today's live stream, it's brought to you by Swear Words. I was all getting set up, opened up Streamlabs, which is the software I'm now using, and it auto-updated, which was fine. Most things worked. Plugged in my camera, my phone camera for the overhead. Damn thing wouldn't work, so I've just had to spend 10 minutes fiddling around, saying lots of words. Now we're going. It's really not too bad once you get it going, but when it plays you up, it's a pain in the arse. And yes, the swear words don't help, but they do have to make you feel better. So let's start by looking at the weather. See what I mean? It was working before, and now it's not working again. Let me just swap this over. I know you've seen there my script. What do I want? Ah, there, that's what I want. That was a Gary fault. I was actually on the wrong window. Let me just get the calculator back. So hopefully we should be fine. There we go. So the current temperature here in Secret Harbour, oh, it's gone up. When I checked, it was 21. Now it's 22. So let's pump that in. 22 is about 72 Fahrenheit. So not too bad. Gonna be another nice week. You know, temperatures low to mid 30s most of the time. Not too bad. Although tomorrow and Tuesday, gonna be absolutely freezing at only 25 Celsius. I won't know. Might have to put the heating on at that temperatures. So let's head over and start going through the comments. He says, oh, there we go. We've got David, hello from the capital city of Austin, where it's 63 Fahrenheit or 17 Celsius and very overcast and rainy. Welcome to you, David. Jim, hi all from relatively comfortable Cartersville, Georgia. It's currently 54 degrees Fahrenheit. Blonde Scales 1, hello from Arkansas, where it's 58 Fahrenheit and raining. Yeah, we had some rain during the week. It was like 2 spots and then it was over with. Jim, hello from Harper's Ferry, West Virginia, where it's 42 Fahrenheit or 5.5 Celsius. And then we've got Hey to David. Tony, hello from Wiltshire in southwest England. Today has been calm, dry and sunny. 10 Celsius or 50 Fahrenheit. Currently 3 Celsius or 38. Ooh, just about thinking about that temperature. We've got a hi there. Kiss My, welcome to you, Kiss My. Evening all. I was going to start off saying it was 48 Celsius and 9 Fahrenheit here in Ireland, which is clearly can't be full of donkey. How's everybody's week? Oh, I love that idea. 48 Celsius. Today's mug, by the way. There we go. That's my Star Wars mug. We've got some hellos there. Blonde Scales 1, so far so good. Marcy Me, welcome to you, Marcy Me, who just so happens to have a Pelican M1000 in Renaissance Brown. Hello from North Texas. Glorious spring weather, thunderstorms and rain today. Currently 59 Fahrenheit or 15 Celsius. Jim, bit warmer tonight than it has been. Kiss My, showery in between the rain here. Lovely weather for February. This keeps up, I'm going to have to get swimming lessons. Yeah, it can feel like that sometimes. Tony, to Kiss My, your letter arrived yesterday. Great read. Your writing puts mine to shame. I've just realised I've got the sound playing over on my preview. I'll just mute that now. Kiss My, how's the new baby going, Marcy Me? I so want one. You should definitely save up and get yourself one, Kiss My. They're absolutely glorious. Tony, to Marcy Me, great video on the Renaissance. You gave in finally. And then David, how are you, Jim? And we've got a couple more highs. Blonde Scales 1 was still far below normal in rainfall here. And we got hello. Kiss my, hi to Tony, great to hear it arrived. I wasn't sure it would get there in one piece. We got another hello. Pardon me. Gary, starting with the burps already. Andreas, I'm late. You're never late. You always arrive at the time you're meant to be there. David, hi there, kiss my. Jim, what is the goldfish brown pen with gold ink in the opening? Beautiful combo. I will show you that when we get to the pens of the week. We really enjoyed using that. Kiss my, we've got an evening there. Andreas, good day from Brisbane, where it's currently 21 Celsius and raining. And then Tony, we've got hello, all well today. David, breaking news. They still don't know anything, but they are interviewing experts who also don't know anything. More really important sounding updates to follow. Yeah, I know what you mean there. It tickles me. I watch a lot of documentaries on YouTube, most of them like from old TV shows. And there was one, I want to say it was talking about ancient Greek archaeology. And they wanted to debunk it, so they brought on a professor to debunk it. Professor in astrophysics. Stupid things like that really annoy me. Kiss my, we have that channel over here too. Andreas, hey Tony, all well today? And yourself? Then David, we got a lol. Kiss my, that's so far so good from the Magnificent 7 remake. Marcy me, sorry if I missed any greetings. I'm in the kitchen prepping a batch of homemade yoghurt. Tony, all fine, thanks. And we got a hello there, and we got another hello. David, a pen collector wanted to watch a documentary about clocks for years. He finally managed to watch it. It was about time. Oh, that's definitely, is it a horological joke? Fancy Polanski, welcome to you. Good evening, everybody. Blonde Scales 1, not seen the remake. Then Tony, we got a all well with you. And we got a hello. And Kiss my, worth it for that line alone. So, busy week this week. Matt put that poor old 3D printer, been going absolutely guns. The latest thing I printed yesterday was something I got off Thingiverse, which was this. So Thingiverse is a website where people share their models. It's a bit rough, I need to sand it down still here. What this is though, I've got one to show you. The bloke who did this built it to put Inkvent bottles in. Look at that, perfect fit. Why I've done this is I do have my Inkvent bottles all in a box, but they roll around in there. So I've done this one, it takes 35 bottles, so I'll try that first. And as long as that fits in the box, I will be printing some more of those today. So that's the main thing I've been printing, like channel related. What else have I printed this week that's worth shouting about? Oh, I did my very first model. Well, proper model. So I'm now using something called FreeCAD. I was finding Tinkercad, which is a web online service, was a bit not really matching my mind, so I'm playing around with Tinkercad. But I printed this. Most of the time you won't see this, but this now sits on my desk, and I know you'll hear me fiddling with it. My desk mate sits in it and stops it from moving all over the place. So that's been one of the things. As I say, I've been playing with FreeCAD, so definitely been using lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of swear words. My problem was, I think I started by being too, not optimistic, but I was trying to do the hard stuff rather than focusing on learning the basics. So I'm going back now and I'm going to start focusing more on the basics before I get on to doing the fancy stuff I was trying to do. See, this is a problem with Gary. Gary looks before he leaps. Let me just close this, and then this one. Close that window. Are there any more comments before we get into the pen of the week? David, I was going to tell everyone a joke about time travel, but you guys didn't like it. Blonde Scales 1 throws a bottle of Bay State Blue at David. Andreas, lol Gary, I was literally searching. Huge Elvis, does single colour 3D prints take hours to print? Like your colour examples. So it depends what you're doing. So this one here, I think that was, I want to say about 5 hours, but that's because it's got a lot of fairly, although it doesn't look it, there's a lot of thickness to this to really give it strength. Let me find, here we are, Darth Vader, this one. He says throwing Darth Vader around. He took, I want to say about an hour. So it really depends what you're printing. I've got something actually going now. Not sure if you can hear it. May or may not finish. It's a little basket. Again, it's got detail on it, so it takes longer. So it seems to be where there's detail, it takes longer, and where obviously where you're changing colours. I've got some more colours coming for that 3D printer. I'm being really, really, really brave. I've ordered a pack of 5 different spools from AliExpress, so we'll see what they come out like. They're less than half the price of the bamboo spools, so yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. So hopefully that answers your questions, but yeah, I'm loving it. And at the first series, we're going to be doing some more. Ricardo, good evening from Greater London, where it's been sunny but cold. Welcome to you, Ricardo. Lol Gary, I was literally searching Maker's World last night for an Inkvent storage print. Yeah, I didn't find anything really on Maker's World, so I went to Thingiverse, and that's where I found it. Only thing I don't like about Thingiverse, full of bloody ads. But yeah. Kissmart, you beat me to the question. That's to Jim. Then hello. Did you enjoy the sun today? Blonde Scales 1, no, that's Dark Helmet. I know it's meant to be Darth Vader, but definitely looks like Dark Helmet. Let's take a look at the pen of the week. Sorry, it was there and I wasn't. So, pen of the week for ending on the 14th of February. Let me just pull up the strips, get on the right page. So the pen of the week was the TWSBI VAC 700R, which was which was gifted to me, and I really, really appreciate that. Just make sure that's open a bit. Love this. This is this gorgeous blue colour. Just look at that nib. Really, really nice. So we've got here this has got a 1.1 stub nib. Price wise, you're looking approximately nearly almost about 160 Aussie dollars. The ink, I forgot to get my blotting paper. I'll just grab that. Oh, I'll have to get some more blotting paper. I've only got one more sheet left. There we go. Diamine Molten Basalt. Really like this colour. It's a nice dark colour, but it's got a nice like a coppery sheen to it. Really, really quite attractive, I think. So, pens of the days. I'm not sure which ones will and which ones weren't right. So the first one I've got for you, this is the Just Turn-Ins Enceladus. This material is Elven Wood by Jonathan Brooks, and this has got a matte finish to it. Very nice. I really do like this. Cartridge converter, and as you must be able to see there, chances are this weren't right, but we'll give it a bash. We got a nice he says broad nib on there. Now we're just getting a little bit there, but that's it. So this is approximately about almost 210 Aussie dollars. Obviously, pardon me, it's a handmade pen, so expect the price to vary depending on what it is you're after. Next up, from TWSBI, we've got the TWSBI Swipe. This is the like grey version. There is still some ink in here. Hopefully you can just about see that going around. And here we've got that nice little Twisby nib. So let's see, does this one right? And on here, I think it's a medium. Yeah, it's a medium nib. Price wise, here you're looking about 46 Aussie dollars. The ink, Colourverse Lunar Black. So to me this is, it's not so much a black as a very, very dark grey, and it's also got a little bit of like a gold sheen to it. Next up, let's move this up a wee bit. Here we are, this is the Faber-Castell Hexo. So that Twisby, that was also a cartridge converter, except here it's a funny one. This one, it's another cartridge converter. I just refill the cartridge, as you can see. It's out of ink, so not sure if this one will write or not. Really tiny looking nib, but wow, this is a beautiful writer. Yeah, that one's not going to write either. So that one is about 50 Aussie dollars. The next one should write, he says hopingly. Here we've got the D-Like New Moon. I think it's the New Moon 2. This is like a dusty rose, I think it was called, this pattern. Had this a few years now though. There you go. I believe these are now branded as Mahjong, but when I got this it was a D-Like. Now this is one of the issues I've been having. So I'm going to close this down again. So what I've found, only the last couple of times I've gone to open it. So I'm holding on to the section, how I normally would do. I'm unscrewing this. What it's actually doing is it's actually unscrewing the top of the section. It's not unscrewing the body. So what I'm having to try and do to get into it is hold on to that silver and then hopefully, no, there it is going again. So I'm not sure, I will have to play around with that to get into that. Then this will have to be cleaned out. It may go into my keep for looking at but not using pile. There is a couple like that now. But otherwise, it's not bad. It's not a bad fit. It posts okay. I don't mind it posted. Unposted, yeah, it's just about right. Sometimes can feel a bit small. Section, again, quite nice. So we've got here a... Alright, doesn't matter because it's not going to write. No, so that's out of ink as well. That must have been why I tried to go in into it and found the issue. So that's the D-Like New Moon 2. There, that pen is about 27 Aussie dollars. Next up, from Conklin, we've got the Conklin Durograph in this gorgeous forest green. Again, another pen that was gifted to me. I very much appreciate when people do that. So again, not a lot of ink in here. Not sure if this will write. Nice fit in the hand, really nice and comfortable. Here we've got the 1.1 stub nib, which was also gifted to me. Thank you so much. Let's write with this one. Price wise for these, you're looking about 130 Aussie dollars. The ink is by Robert Tolster, and it's Tranquility. Really nice ink, one of my favourite inks. What I've noticed with this, it does still tend to run dry fairly easily. So what I have to do is occasionally prime the feed, but it writes lovely. Then the next pen, the last pen, the one that was asked about earlier on is this one. This is the Asvine V126. I can't remember the name of the pattern, but it's got whites, it's got browns. It's absolutely stunning. This is very similar to a Pilot Custom 823. Not sure when I'm going to film it, but I have got in my notes to do a showdown between this, the 823, and most probably the 699, the Winsung 699 as well. because all three are very, very similar shapes. Here we've got there the nib. It's 1.1 stub nib, and this is a vacuum filling pen. So hopefully I've agitated this ink enough. We've got here, just make sure I get the right number, V126. Price wise, you're looking about 54 Aussie dollars. The ink is by Diamine. It's Yule log. This is the last bit of Yule log that I've got. After this ink is gone. So I've got not a lot left in there. Enough hopefully for a day or two. Really like that. I'm really liking the way this ink looks. Let's just take a quick look at the inks. So there we go with that top one. Oh no, that top one there, that molten basalt. It's like a coppery sheen on top of there. I'm hoping that the camera can pick this up for you. Just try and hold it at different angles to the light. The lunar black, again with this one, I often see a bit of like a gold sheen. Nothing there with the tranquility, it's a standard ink, but if I'm writing with it when it's a little bit wetter, I do see a red sheen, and I've seen a bit of red sheen there on the C and O of Conklin. Then finally the Asvine V126 there. And I do like this. Again, it's like a coppery type shimmer on there. So that's the pens I've been using this week. Let's head on back to the comments. Jim, yes, dark helmet. Andreas, Gary, you might want to try Sunlu filament. Can be as low as $11 a kilo for PLA. Yeah, the one I've got that's actually printing now, I think is eSun. I have been looking at the Sunlu on Amazon. When I was looking though the other day and I saw this one on AliExpress, it works out about $14 a kilo. So I was quite surprised by that. So I thought, well, we'll give it a try. If it works out, they do a multi-pack with just white and black, which are two that I actually so far seem to be using quite a lot of. White, black and red, and a bit of green. Yeah, maybe blue and yellow and I don't know, loads of colours. Fancy Balansky, all's well here, just enjoying the 5040 Titan SL I received this week. Wow, I've seen, I can't remember I saw a 5040 pen on. It'll come to me eventually, most probably 2 o'clock in the morning. Ricardo, hi Tony, I did enjoy some. I was going to Sandwich in Kent with my mate, but his cat was sick, so we aborted the trip. Got a little dog's face looking in the window now. David, the Valentine's Day card the pen collector sent to his wife right before he moved out into the backyard doghouse. Roses are red, violets are blue, fountain pens and cheap, so no flowers for you. Oh, that's not very nice. I did something really. I gave my wife a gift for Valentine's Day, first time in years. Let me see if I've set this one up correctly. It says fetching it up and then hiding away the preview. Where is it? Photos. Ah, I'm not having one of those. There we go. Photos. So let me see. So photos. Hopefully I can get down and show this thing to you. Photos, there we go. Done. So I printed this out for Elaine. So now we've got the thing, but you can get the idea. So I've got a red rose on the top, I've got the stem, and I even printed the vase for her. So I left that there yesterday for her to find. She was very surprised. Didn't say anything to me, but I did hear her telling our daughter, it's the first time in 30 years he's bought me anything. So, yeah, that was there for Elaine. And it cost me about $1.50, say $2 Aussie dollars to print it. And if I'd have bought a rose, I think they were about $20 and it would have been dead within a couple of days. So that'll last her now for life. So I won't need to get her another Valentine's Day ever because she's got that rose all the time. Tony to Fancy Polanski, that looks a very interesting pen, though a bit expensive. Jim, my Twisby VAC 700 Broad is a good shimmer ink pen. Yeah, I have got that down on a list of future videos about what pens may or may not be good for shimmer and sheens. Sorry, just have a mouthful of drink. Fancy Polanski, definitely on the pricey side, but I have really enjoyed the pens he has made. Great build quality and the filling system is fantastic. Tony to Ricardo, we moved the boat a couple of miles closer to Bath as the weather was so good. Going up, wow, we've got loads of comments coming up. Marcy Me, Gary, I enjoyed your new printer video. Brilliant, thanks for that, Marcy Me. Yeah, I'm going to be doing one 3D printed or one 3D video per week, and it'll be on the same day. So for me, it's a Thursday. For the US, it's a Wednesday evening, and it's going to be why I've deliberately called the series Adventures in 3D because it's going to be, you know, what I'm learning, how I'm learning it, how I'm going. And then each one there will be, I'll be shown at least 3 prints. There'll be a fun print, a decorative print, and a functional print. You know, so just things that I printed that week. And that's a way of forcing me to, you know, look for different things. Because I wouldn't really look for decorative things. I'd mainly be looking for functional things. So it's quite nice. Then we got a lol. Marcy Me, happy Valentine's Day. Same there from Marilyn. Welcome to you, Marilyn. David, a photon on a road trip got tired and checked into a hotel. The clerk asked him if he had any luggage, and he replied, "No, I'm travelling light." I've always wondered, these are the sort of things that go through my mind. So I know that light is a wave when it's in motion, and then it's a photon or a particle when it's detected. But in the change from being detected to being in motion, what energy is released and where does it go? I'll say it's just these little things that pop into my head. And not only that, how about the other way around? Where does the energy come from to take it from being a photon, a particle, to being a wave? David, to Marilyn, happy Valentine's Day to you. And we've got some highs. Tony, I had a couple of my vintage pens back from the restorer today. A 1950s Conway Stewart 75 in blue marble and a 1950s Swan calligraphy, both writing well. We got a high there, we've got a couple more highs. Ricardo, I'm sure you know about the recent canal breach. I've been following it here on YouTube and it was very impressed by the speed of the rescue. When I lived, before we moved to Australia, we lived in Selby, and the Selby Canal was literally, if you could walk through all the houses, 2 minutes away, but to go around the more less intrusive to other people, we had to just walk down the road, and then through a field on a public footpath, and then we were there. So 5-10 minutes. We used to love going there, taking our dog for a walk along the canal. Always really nice. Got a couple of highs. There we go. David, a pen collector's wife, asked him if he had seen the Dodge Bowl. He said yes, and last week he rolled a perfect game. When my son was younger, he did 10-pin bowling, and the 10-pin bowling league was on a Saturday morning. Gary's drinking night was on a Friday evening. So I think that the bowling lanes, there should be a mode you can press to mute all the noise so that when you're there after being drinking the night before, you don't have to worry about the loud noises. He was also into basketball after that, and there was this one girl, not on his team, but obviously on the girls' team. I'll tell you, it's one of the few people I could have taken the ball and shoved it where it shouldn't go, because every single bloody match, which was on a Sunday morning, she would be there bang, 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 bouncing that ball right in front of me all the bloody time. Oh, really used to annoy me. Kiss My, you'll have to post some pics on the Discord. That's to Tony. Tony, Gary, I wonder if the feed is failing to keep up with the ink demand from the stub nib on the Conklin. The nib worked fine on mine. Yeah, I think it might be something to do with not so much the feed, because that was a screw in, screw out, so I just screwed it in. I wonder if this, because this screws in as well, if I'm going too tight on that so it's not getting sufficient airflow. So that's something, again, I'm going to play around with. Pardon me, the girl, welcome to you. David, I see you're well. Jim had an accident with a sample vial, not once but twice. I still managed to save most of the ink. Today, a chunk of wood and 5/8 drill bits solved the problem. Yeah, what I've got, he says, getting up, I'm going over here. For sample vials, yes, I know you just get to see my background. So I've got this, which is what I use. I've got this, which is what I use for most of my like Diamine inks and stuff like that, the Inkvent inks. But when I do use a sample vial, I bought this from the local hardware store. It just sits in there, and then the vial sits in there. It's the simple things that really make the big difference, you know, and didn't cost next to nothing for the whole lot. Tony, to Kiss My, I will do. I have another pair of Conway Stewarts to be resacked as well. David, I am, to the girl, how are you? The girl, Jim, I used the inside of a roll of tape. Shout out to Marilyn for that trick. Yeah, again, I think that's brilliant, you know, using what you've got. Kiss My, I've seen a few restoration videos, very ASMR, but I'd never be brave enough myself in spite of how I like to tinker. Yeah, I know what you're on about there. David, a pen collector and his girlfriend are driving home from a pen show. He says, you should get over Elaine. She stops, kicked him out and yelled, who's Elaine? Yeah, well, Elaine's my wife. Marcy, me, Gary, my thoughts arrive at 3 AM. Yeah, it's terrible about how it does that. The amount of times I've had to get up and come into here and jot down notes. Tony, can we find a David's joke book and give it a decent burial? The girl to David, hanging in there. I've had a stomach ache today, but I think it's leftover stress. My former boss is coming back part-time, so my 40-hour work week is back. Oh. Kiss My, we've got a smiley face there. David, I'm sorry, the girl, how are your classes going? Tony, I should do my own really, not too difficult to do a sack change. The girl, David, how is this semester going? And Marcy, me, have you bonded with your M1000? Blonde Scales 1, I tried throwing ink at him. Marilyn, for mine and my husband's anniversary, he gave me 11 real roses and 1 feather rose. And he put a note, I'll love you till every last rose has wilted. Oh, that's an awesome thing. I still have those roses. David, to Marilyn, that's nice. It really is nice. I completely agree with you there, David. That is somewhat unusual. Yeah, Elaine keeps saying that once we got married, she stopped getting flowers, which is true. But saying that, whenever I used to give her flowers, I was always told, what's this for? What have you done? What are you after? The girl, David, classes are going well. I have a 100 in one end and an 86 in the other. I will make A's, dang it. I've organised all my flashcards today. I'm about 500 in. Wow, that's an awful lot. David, hang in there to the girl. The girl, oh, that's sweet. James, welcome to you, James. Why could the Proton not get a job? He kept testing positive. Oh, I love it. Tony, I gave Jenny 6 roses today. Next year, I will give her the full box. I don't think that joke will be understood outside the British Isles. No, I don't. Yeah, I get it, yeah. Whenever we get anything like roses or Quality Street, Elaine goes through them first and takes out all the ones she likes. and then I'm allowed to have the rest. The Gut Girl, David, my mantra, it's only until May the 14th. Kiss my to Tony, you deserve your own box of heroes. Sorry. Kiss my to Tony, you deserve your own box of heroes for that. The Gut Girl, we got some to James, smiley face, we got smiley face. Kiss my St. James Lawson, David's successor. David, I love the phrase bear with me because it either means be patient or the zoo heist was a complete success. And I know what you mean there as well. Marcy, I use my Twisby VAT 700R with Extreme Sheen Organics Studio Nitrogen. Yeah, I really like the Extreme Sheenings. The diamond ones have been stunning. Marilyn, gasp. And then, hi Gut Girl. The Gut Girl, I get it out, rubbing alcohol. Marilyn, do not put rubbing alcohol anywhere near your fountain pens. It will eat your pen. Kiss my, I avoid microwaving leftover stress. It's messy. David, there was a pen collector who proposed to his English teacher girlfriend as he got out of jail for stealing pens. She said, no, you can't end a sentence with a proposition. The Girl, yeah, it's not easily digestible. Marilyn, the Girl, be thankful you're not going to med school. The Girl, true, but I read a paragraph that explains one IT term and there are 5 other terms in it, and it's Greek to me. Yeah, I know certainly, I mean, there's a lot of professions do it, but IT, there's all sorts of gobbledygook. And sometimes, I remember sometimes, if I had a client who I knew wasn't very IT literate, if they were being a bit of an arsehole, I would come out with loads of gobbledygook, and that would soon shut them up. And we got awkward. Marilyn, I love nitrogen. However, if it gets on my finger and I touch a light switch, it's forever there. Ricardo, oh dear, your jokes are good medicine for many malaises. And then David, glad to hear it. So let's move on with what's going on with the channel. I don't know why, but I can't fit my full presentation now into the screen. I'll have to play with that and get that fixed during the week. As I say, loads of bloody technical issues this week. So that's the wrong one. That's the one I'm after. See what I mean? Damned technical stuff. Never worked with IT. So here we go. He says, I can't wait. Can I have the rest of the day off, please? There we go, that's better. So on Monday, we took a look at the Bennu Gem and my first impressions of that. That's the 09 model. Absolutely stunning. I really cannot say how nice this is. So I'm guessing, I'm not sure if it was a precursor to the Hort or a different material they were experimenting with. These Gem models, they are one-off. Sometimes there might be a couple of them, so they're prototypes, ideas they wanted to play around with but maybe didn't move forward. So yeah, really, really nice. Absolutely stunning pen. And for a fine nib, it's got a little bit of flex to it. It writes gorgeously. Wednesday, we took a wrap-up of Inkvent of 2025. So that's the Inkvent of the 25 inks. So very quick run through there, and I picked my top 6 inks. It should have been 5, but I just could not rattle it down. Thursday, that was Adventures in 3D. That's where I did my first look at the Bamboo A1 combo and talked about the lessons that I'd learned in the first, couple of weeks using it. One of the key lessons, buy more filament, Gary, because you're printing that much, you're going through it. And then Friday, that was my inked pens from February of 2026. Coming up, on Monday, we're going to take a look at 5 fine nibbed pens. So this year, one of the things I want to do is use more fine nibbed pens because my preference in pens are stub nibs or broad nibs. So I'm trying to push myself down to using mediums and fines. So a lot of this year I'm going to be focusing on those. Wednesday, I'm going to take a look at my top 5 inks from both the Countdown and the Inkvent. So looking at, what top 5, I think there ended up being 2 Colourverse and 3 Diamine in there. Thursday, that's where we're going to take a look at Gridfinity in my adventures in 3D. So Gridfinity is a storage system someone came up with. So the idea is, have I got one handy? Batteries, there we go. Here's, I can't show you it because we're on the presentation. Anyway, the idea is you print out a little grid which goes in the bottom of a drawer or on a shelf. And then there's all sorts of different boxes that you can print, and you make your own prints, make your own designs. I've got one which has just got for AA batteries, one for AAA. So I'll be talking about that on Thursday. Friday, we're going to look at my autumn themed pens. So over here in Australia, autumn starts on the 1st of March. So this is a few days before that. So we'll be taking a look at those. And then on Saturday, for the members, we'll be having a Discord chat. Look out for a video, a very short video to members only on Thursday, just to announce that. But 8:30 a.m. Australian Western Standard Time. We'll be doing that on Saturday, my Saturday. And then books of the week. So I finished The Defenders of Shannara, the Darkling Child by Terry Brooks. Really good, enjoyable read. Seeing lots of adventure. A lot of it was fairly predictable. And then I've started Tad Williams' City of Golden Shadow, which is an Otherland, first of his Otherland series. This is a really interesting one. It's one of those books outside of my normal comfort zone. So it's like a science, a sci-fi type book, as opposed to fantasy, which is what I often read. It's got a mystery to it. Yeah, absolutely really, really good. Really enjoying it. It's a big book though. I can't remember. Let me just quickly pull up Storyful and I can tell you how many pages. I'm only about 15% of the way through and I've been reading it all week. Or most of the week. Come on. I've just worked the keyboard up. Storygraph. Storygraph is where I track my books that I'm reading. Does it say how many pages? 1,107 pages. So it's a big book. It may take me another week or so to finally read that. So that's what's been going on. So let's head on back over to the comments. The Goat Girl. Okay, I have a cut in my skin that has black fountain pen in it. Will rubbing alcohol get the ink out of my skin? I wouldn't put rubbing alcohol on it because that would go ow, ow, ow. Or should I say Gary would be going ow, ow, ow. Not sure what to use. I've got to be honest, when I get ink on my hands, Elaine's got this stuff called the pink stuff, which she uses like it's a tub and it's like a thick about that round and it's like a pink paste inside it. I use some of that. She uses it for cleaning the oven and the cooker. So yeah, I use that, then soap, and that normally takes off everything. The other thing is I find washing my hair, so shampoo, also helps with taking it off. Marilyn, Chrome Read Aloud app is excellent for understanding the world at a faster pace. Chrome for PDF works too. Marilyn, I read about 500 words per minute. Wow. I've never really tested my the speed that I read at. Oh. Moving on to the cordial now. Here we go. So, where are we going? Tony, the ink should just wash out with warm water unless it's a pigment. The Goat Girl, it's platinum black, the stuff that comes in a preppy cartridge. There is just a tiny line at the bottom of the cut. I've scrubbed and soaked it, it's still there. I'm very pale. Could be. Oh, well, depends how it does. You could have a nice little tattoo. Jim, lava soap is good to remove ink on skin. Tony, if it's pigment, you'll have a tattoo. Jim, lava soap and a small finger brush works wonders. The girl, once this is over, I'm going to get lava soap. Jim, a Scotch Brite pad for the stubborn inks. Tony to Marilyn, hi there, is Platinum Black a pigment ink? Marilyn, if you want a really nice fine pen, the Kakuno is excellent, the 78G and the Explorer. Yeah, I've got all three of those on my list. The Kakuno is one I'm thinking about because a lot of people keep saying about that. The other ones, yeah, they're all definitely on the list. Marilyn, Platinum Carbon Black is a pigmented ink. Marcy, Gary, thank you for providing the platform for our worldwide family to come together. You're welcome, Marcy. I just enjoy doing these. I really do. As you can tell by the amount of time I spent talking on them. The Goat Girl, oh man, scrubbing my open cut with lava soap and a Brillo pad is going to sting, but it will be worth it. No tattoo. Yeah, but you could say that the tattoo would be a mark of pride. You know, that you've got it. Pride in your fountain pens. David, what did the warehouse manager at Mont Blanc say when he suddenly jumped out at everyone in the hallway, unexpectedly with a large box of pens? Supplies? Oh, that's getting worse. Ricardo, to the Goat Girl. They make two types of black ink. One is pigmented, the other isn't. If it is pigment, it will be marked carbon ink on the side of the cartridge. David, Jess, Gary, what Marcy said. Thank you, David. I just love doing these. Really, Dan. Without you all here, there'd be no point in me doing them. The Goat Girl to Marilyn. Well, that's my why. What I'm going to do is just play my little ad because my throat's going a bit thin, so I need to get a quick drink. So this gives me 30 seconds, you see. That's why it's there. So that gave me time to get a quick drink, and whilst it was there, my 3D print finished. I'll show you in a second. I'm disappointed in it in a way, but I'll explain why in a second. So James, well, the Pilot Kakuno is my favourite pen, followed by the Kaweco Perkio. Yeah, one of the things I want to do this year is get, like the Kakuno, is I want to get a few more, what I'm going to call starter pens. So, you know, these are pens, you know, for someone getting into the hobbies, if you want to buy, you know, kids' pens. So I want to get a few more of those and do a video later on. I do one of these every year, a starter pens video. But it'd be nice to have a bit of a wider selection. Marilyn, if you're looking for a pigmented ink, I recommend Platinum Carbon Black and Diatramentis Document Black. And if you want a bit of a shimmer, Diamine just came out with a whole line of pigment inks. Yeah, I've been quite enjoying the pigment inks that came with the, what's the name of it? The Inkvent of 2025. Kiss my Diamine Forever. Raven is the black one. Marilyn, I just looked up Platinum Blue Black is no longer a pigment. Marilyn, yes, the pink stuff. Yeah, I say it just works well, and you know, we've got in. It's like I was saying about the thing what I'd use for my ink holder. You know, it's stuff we have in the house. The Goat Girl to James. If my first pen had only been a Kakuno, that's the one I would. That's the only one I'd own. Ricardo to Marilyn. The normal Platinum Blue Black is a water-based dye ink, as it is what on says the bottle. As it is what it says on the bottle. They also make a pigment ink that is just blue. Marilyn, well, Read Aloud is a text-to-voice program that reads to you, and it reads very fast, up to 16 times. Kiss my, Matt for life, prison tats for you. Marilyn, I just use one of the green scrub pads and give it a good scrub. Kiss my, I've used whitening toothpaste on a nail brush on particularly stubborn ink stains. Hands smell nice and minty afterwards. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, toothpaste, because it's a little bit rougher, so it'll get into the pores a bit better, I would think. The girl, no, I already have one tattoo from a blob of graphite. Same hand I refuse. David, a pen doctor came to my house last night. She travelled all the way from Madrid to fix my broken fountain pen. I didn't expect you, I said. She said, nobody, sorry, I've just seen a punchline. Nobody expects the Spanish ink physician. Oh, sorry. Some of these really do tickle me. The girl to Marilyn, I'm going to try the Brillo pad, a brand new one, and dish soap. If that doesn't work, I'll use lava soap. Kiss my well said, there to Marcy me. Marilyn, I love these live streams. I try to talk to my roommates about pens and they look at me like a crazy person because I spent more than $4 on a pen. Lol, so thank you for having these. No, you're more than welcome. I've got the same thing. You know, Elaine will sit there and nod in the head when I'm talking, but yeah, not really someone I can have a proper conversation with. But so again, one of the reasons I started these. The girl, I wonder if salt would help clean it out. Use it as an abrasive. Yeah, but again, that would sting, I would think. Jim, if there's one surefire way to get rid of it, amputation. Then you won't have any problems with it ever again. Jim, if anyone needs to replace a pilot nib in a Kakuno, get an Utsushi. Hopefully I've not mangled that. That nib fits perfectly. I replaced a damaged nib in one of my Kakunos. Jim, thank you so much, Jim, for the super chat. $1.99 there, super chat. Really appreciate it. Everything that comes in, as I'm saying all the time, all goes towards really let me grow what we're doing on the channel and try new things, to experiment and try and grow and, what's the word I'm looking for? Really broaden the world of fountain pens. Marilyn, right now, AliExpress is, AliExpress today, only AliExpress has Kakuno on sale for 99 cents. I'm going to be making a note of that. Although we only did an AliExpress order on, it was either Thursday or Friday, so I might not get that past the boss. Fancy Belansky, I really like the Diamine Forever Raven, great pigment ink. David, a man finds a fountain pen and asks the guy who is standing next to him, annoying everybody, is this your pen? The guy takes it, writes with it and says, yep, that's my handwriting. Marilyn, I'm going to put a link on the Discord to the Kuno. Go and get it. Brilliant. I'll keep an eye out for that later. Blonde Girls 1. David is doing some repeats tonight. Kiss my to the girl. Amputation's an option, but it's a bit one way. Yeah, so the Kiss my having the same thoughts as me. Maybe it's a certain mindset for that. Marilyn, if it's so bad that you have to amputate, I want to watch. I remember when I was a scout leader for a lot of years, and the kids every so often would injure themselves, which is fine, you expect it. And they would come running up to me. They soon learnt not to because, they come up with a little tiny cut here on the finger, you'd hardly notice it. Just wash it, plaster on it, fine. So they soon stopped doing that when I said, look, I've got a solution. Here's the axe, I can amputate here and now. We've got a mallet, so we can knock you out. They stopped running up to me after that. And we got a lol. The girl, my husband shook his head at your joke. David, did you hear about the cruise liner that only men who own Mont Blanc pens can go on? It's the penmanship. Kiss my, it was the Utsushi that turned me onto the Kakuno. Love those pens. The girl hadn't considered amputation. David, okay, I'll get my coat for tonight. Ricardo, thanks. The Kakuna, Metropolitan or Explorer aren't available in the UK. The Prera was just introduced last month and I got one this week. Nice pen. Kiss my torpedo in the water. So that's all the comments, and Gordon Bennett, we're almost on an hour. So as I say, I've just taken his print off my plate. You can still see there the little tower it did. That's not what I printed, that's just a tower. Let me get over here so I can actually see it. There we go. Oops, get in the camera. So this is what I've just printed. Found it on Maker World, and it said it was for putting your packets of ingredients in. You know, like that you can get the packet soup mix and packet, you know, chili con carne seasoning and spaghetti bolognese seasoning, stuff like that. It's a bit on the narrow side for that, so it won't be getting used for that. I can change the dimensions, so that's not going to be a problem. But what I think I'll use it for, well, Elaine will mostly use it for, is to put things like jellies in. Jelly. Obviously the packet jelly before we make it, but I think they should fit in there. So this is one of the things I'm doing, is slowly printing out all sorts of storage things. Because I say functional, that's my big thing. Marilyn, tea, yeah. I do have I've got pots for tea as well. You could put tea in there. Yeah, certainly tea would definitely fit in. I don't know if you've got them over in the States. They have here what they call aeroplane jelly, which is like a little box with 2 jelly powders in, so they'll go. Kiss my, I know I thought of that when I was putting it in. You'll be plugging those holes for jelly. Yeah, I did think about that when I first said it. I thought, oh dear, Gary, you're leaving yourself right open here. Just, come on, refresh. Tony, ink basket, might take those Waterman bottles. Yeah, again, I'm going to be doing something like this for my inks eventually. That's one of the things I want to try and do myself, you know, design it myself. Just why I'm learning the CAD programs. It's just, I tried to go too clever with the first one. Here's the first one I did. This was a little shelf to go over my Mac Mini, which is on the side. So I could stack stuff on it without actually having it on the Mac. So this was the first one I tried. A bit on the flexible side. Here's version 2. Looking a lot better, but this hexagon stuff here, I wanted to put a border on it and I couldn't work out how to do it. I think I know what I've got to do, because I developed this first before I created the border. So what I think I need to do is do it the other way around. Build the border, then build this mesh, and then have the mesh push through the border. So I think I know what it is, but that's a little bit more sturdy. It won't bend as much. So yeah, been playing around. Got a crying laughy face there from Kiss My. Marilyn, well, that's rude. I signed into AliExpress and it jumped the price from 99 cents to $18. Tony, AliExpress might be doing Amazon style dynamic pricing. I think they do, because I find that what really annoys me is when they send you an email saying, you know, showing you something and saying, right, this is only, as you say, 99 cents. You click on it and it goes in, and it, as you say, it's $18. To me, that's false advertising, but I can understand they've got to make money. Do another refresh. So that's all the comments for the moment. So thank you everybody for your time. I absolutely love doing these. Please hit that thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. Any ideas you've got for videos, let me know. You can either drop them in the chat, you can drop them in comments, you can drop them in Discord. I mean, I've only got about 400 ideas there, but I'm always looking for new things and I move them all around. So yeah, I've got plenty of content planned which could come up. Actually filming at the moment. I think the first episode releases early March. My early 2026 tournament, So this is where I'm going to do a tournament with pens under 150 Aussie dollars. I've recorded the first 4. I'm doing number 5 today. Not today, not tomorrow, Wednesday. So look out for that. So yeah, thank you for all your support. Kiss My, all set for Wednesday. Marilyn, AliExpress special. David, God blessings everyone. Blonde Scales 1, have a great week all. Marilyn, thanks Gary. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. We'll be at Black Raven Marketplace tomorrow teaching calligraphy. If you're in the area, go along. Be well worth going to learn, because I just don't have the patience to learn proper calligraphy. I do keep trying. I'm just not a very patient person. Kiss My, thanks Gary. Thanks everybody. Hope everyone has a great week ahead. Ricardo, gents and ladies, have a nice week. Andreas, thank you Gary. Have a great week all and stay safe. Tony, thumbs up for Gary before you go, folks. Marilyn, anyone here in SoCal, you can come for, it's $5. James, debating going to the Atlanta Pen Show. That'd be great fun if you can. Jim, have a great coming week, everybody. Fancy Belansky, have a great week everyone. Tony, thanks for another great video, Gary. Everyone, have a great week. Marilyn, calligraphy takes time and patience. Yeah, and I know that's my problem, is the patience side. The Goat Girl, have fun at the pen show to James. So that's all the comments. I will leave the comments open whilst the outro plays. Remember, you can always go and drop a comment on the video afterwards. Marilyn, I'm off to bed. I have to get up, but crack of dawn. Take care, everybody. So thank you all, and I'll talk to you again soon.